Hey everyone! So, today we're not just going to talk about cloud security in some abstract way. Nope, we are going to draw up the actual blueprints for your digital fortress on AWS. This isn't about just ticking boxes on a checklist. It's about building a truly resilient, super secure home for your business in the cloud. So, let's get started.
And that really is the heart of the matter, isn't it? It's the first thing you see in the source material for a reason. Everything, and I mean everything, your customers' trust, your app's uptime, the safety of your data, it all hangs on how seriously you take security. The stakes just couldn't be higher. And that's the big question, right? It can feel like a huge, overwhelming task. But don't worry, we're going to break it all down into clear, manageable layers. I'm going to show you exactly how to build a defense that is not only super strong, but also really practical. So here's our game plan for today. We'll start by looking at the challenge itself. Then we'll dive into the 4 core layers of our fortress. First, controlling who gets in. Second, building some seriously strong walls. Third, protecting the most valuable stuff inside. And finally, setting up a watchtower that's on guard 24/7. Now, before we lay that first stone, you need to know that this checklist isn't just something we made up. It's actually built on industry-wide best practices. And it lines up perfectly with big frameworks like the AWS Well-Architected Framework. So think of this as your expert-backed guide to doing it right. Let's get to it. All right, first things first. A fortress is only as strong as its gatekeepers. That's just a fact. In the AWS world, this means mastering something called Identity and Access Management, or IAM. It's all about controlling who has the keys to your kingdom and, just as important, what those keys can actually unlock. And here are the ground rules for managing those keys. Seriously, these are non-negotiable. Number 1, enable multi-factor authentication, MFA for everyone. It's like having a second lock on every single door. 2, never ever use your super powerful root account for everyday stuff. 3, give people only the exact permissions they need to do their job and nothing more. And 4, change the locks, those access keys, every 90 days. Simple. Let's just zoom in on that idea of least privilege for a second, because it is one of the most powerful security ideas out there. Think about it like this. You wouldn't give a castle guard a master key to every room if their only job is to patrol the west gate, right? Of course not. You give them the key to the west gate. That's it. This hugely limits the damage that can be done if an account ever gets compromised. All right, so we've got access control locked down. Now it's time to build our next layer, the fortress walls themselves. This is all about making your network, your servers, and your applications tough as nails so they can repel attacks from the outside. In AWS, you've got 2 main tools for building these walls. Think of network ACLs as the guards at the main gate of your entire property. They control who comes in and out of your whole network. Then you have security groups, which are more specific. They're like the guards posted at the door of each individual building, your virtual servers, controlling traffic at a much closer level. You absolutely need both of them working together. And the walls themselves, your servers, they need to be solid rock. That means getting rid of any weak spots. So, no more password logins for things like SSH. You have to use secure keys instead. Always keep everything updated. And hey, if you're using something like WordPress, lock down those risky features. It's kind of like tidying up a castle. You have to get rid of old, unused stuff that could become a secret backdoor for attackers. Okay, the perimeter is solid. The walls are high. Now for our third layer, and this is where we turn our focus inward to protect what's most valuable of all, your data. These are your crown jewels, and they need special protection, both when they're just sitting there and when they're on the move. This breaks it down perfectly. Encryption at rest is like locking your jewels up in a high-tech vault. This protects data that's just stored on your drives, in your databases, wherever. Then you have encryption in transit, which is like moving those jewels in a secured, armored vehicle. It uses things like SSL and TLS to protect data as it's traveling. You can't just have one, you absolutely need both. But protection isn't just about stopping theft. It's also about being ready for a disaster. A really solid backup plan is your ultimate insurance policy. This means you should be automating daily snapshots, using things like S3 versioning to protect files from being deleted by accident, and for real peace of mind, copying your critical data to a totally different geographic region. So what's a good starting point? Well, the source material gives us a clear number. Keep your automated backups for at least 7 days. That gives you a solid 1-week window to recover from most of the common issues you might run into.
Oh man, this is the question that keeps a lot of tech people up at night. Because look, having a backup is one thing, but knowing you can actually restore from it when everything's on fire, well, that's something else entirely. A backup you've never tested isn't a plan, it's just a hope. And there's your answer, plain and simple. You have to practice. The source recommends you test your restore procedures every single quarter. That's how you turn that vague hope into a proven, reliable plan that you know you can count on when you need it the most. We've built the walls, we've secured the treasure. Now for our fourth and final layer, the ever-vigilant watchtower. Because a fortress isn't static, right? It needs constant watchfulness. This is where monitoring, logging, and having a mindset of always getting better comes into play. And AWS gives you some really powerful tools for this watchtower. Think of CloudWatch as your sentry on the wall, scanning the horizon for any immediate threats or problems. Then you've got CloudTrail, who's like the official scribe, meticulously writing down every single action taken in your account, who did what, and when they did it. And finally, AWS Config is like your historian, keeping a record of every single change to your fortress's layout. See, security isn't a project that you just finish one day. It's an ongoing process. You need to get into a rhythm. Every month, you check your trusted advisor reports for expert tips. Every quarter, you do deeper security checks, and, like we said, you test those restores. And once a year, you should do a full review of everyone's access to make sure they still need the keys they have. So let's bring it all home. By putting all these layers in place, from controlling the keys to building the walls to manning that watchtower, you've done more than just set up some servers. You have built a truly resilient digital fortress that is designed to protect and support your business for the long haul. And the rewards for doing all this? They're huge. We're talking about better uptime for your services, making it way easier to comply with regulations, a much, much lower risk of a costly breach, and maybe the most important thing of all, building and keeping the trust of your customers. So we'll end with this one thought. Ultimately, your security is a reflection of your commitment. Following a checklist like this is a fantastic start, but really embedding these practices into your company's culture, that's how you build a fortress that will truly stand the test of time.